Today's lesson is very quick, easy, and straightforward, so you'll enjoy this one as opposed to yesterday's, which is fairly difficult. Now today we are going to be writing expressions with rational exponents in radical form and vice versa. This all goes with Pascal 1.1a. Convert expressions from radical notations to rational exponents and vice versa. Exactly like it says. Okay. The first thing that we want to cover here is, let's see. All right. What they're saying here basically is, I'm going to try to cap this up real quick. Let's say that I have 9 to the 1/2 power. If you use a calculator or anything like that to figure that out, you're going to see that it's 3. All right? The square root of 9 is also 3. So, what they're saying here basically in this slide is that for any time that you have a radical expression, you can rewrite the expression as a number with a rational exponent if you'll just take this 3 right here, or this index, whatever it is, and make it the denominator of fraction that is in the power. So, for example, 27 to the 1/3 power is the same as the third root of 27, which is 3. Negative 16 to the 1/2 power is the same thing as the square root of negative 16. I'll do a couple examples for you here fairly quick. Grab the right pen. Alright, we've got a to the 1/7 power. They just want to write in radical form? Perfect. This, the base, is your radicand. The denominator of the power is your index. This numerator would be the power up here, but since it's a 1, we don't necessarily write it. Okay? So, for example, if I had z to the 2/3 power, that would be the third root from there of z squared. Alright? Now going backwards, of course, this one is w. Your power right there is 1, and your index is 2. Quick and easy. Now the other part of this is to evaluate these rational exponents. We've talked about that. So, evaluate means give it value. Now, when I'm doing these type of problems, that's 49 to the negative 1/2 power. I like to break this apart into 7 squared. So that's 7 squared to the negative 1/2 power. Remember from previous lessons that to take a power to a power, you multiply the exponents. So this is actually going to be 2 times negative 1/2 is negative 1. That's 7 to the negative 1st power. And also recall that when you have a negative exponent such as this, it turns into a fraction with this as the denominator. Alright? Let's look at this example. 32 to the 2/5 power. Alright, 32 is actually 2 to the 5th power. So what we're talking about here is 2 to the 5th power to the 2/5 power. And just as in this example, we're going to multiply the powers. We're raising 2 to the 5th to the 2/5 power. 5 times 2/5 is 10/5 is 2. So that's actually 2 squared, which is 4. That's really all there is into lesson 6.6a. So we'll see you next time.